Congratulations, you have been selected to be in the Doctoral of Social Work program. Hey you guys, that's all what you want to hear, right? That right there, you want to get that email saying, hey, you've been selected for this DSW program. But before that can happen, you guys, you've got to do your personal statement. So that's what this video is all about. I know that you guys have been on this journey with me. If you're already familiar, if you're not, I'm 3 weeks until graduation. I attend the University of Kentucky and I will be getting my Doctorate of Social Work. And I am doing this video because I know that so many of you want to also obtain your Doctorate of Social Work. So right now, if you're not subscribed, I need you to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss these helpful videos. Our last video, I talked to you guys about selecting a practice problem. On this video, we are going to talk about, and I'm reading this from my phone. So I'm looking at University of Kentucky's application and they ask, how will your practice experience inform your DSW education? So basically, how has your current or your recent experience in the social work field, how will that inform your DSW education? Now, you guys, this is a very important question. And I will say, I feel like people who struggle with this question are applicants who maybe are just getting out of a master's program and who are excelling through and who are applying for a doctoral of social work program, right? So these are, younger social workers, younger social workers who don't have that much experience. And then I don't know, maybe some social workers who have been out in the field for a while, so that's 5+ years, right, may still be struggling with saying, how has the work that I've done as a social worker, how will that play into me being a doctoral student, and what can I do with that in the future? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So you guys, when I applied for the doctoral program, I was 5 years out of my master's program. So for 5 years, I worked as a clinical mental health therapist at a community mental health agency, right? So I was exposed to numerous populations, homeless, different racial backgrounds, just about any population, individuals who are experiencing like substance abuse conditions, disorders, things of that, right? So I had, in my opinion, I've had some experience. So for me, when I was answering this question on my personal statement, what I thought about was, what have I been doing these past few years, and how is it helpful? How will it be helpful for me as a doctoral student? So as a mental, and I'm just going to give you an example from my experience and kind of like what I wrote. So hopefully this will help you. So in my personal statement, I talked a lot about my experience with working with an array of populations, right? So I kind of talked about, but I didn't want to get too wordy, too lengthy, because no faculty member wants to read a long personal statement. We just want to get straight to the point, right? So for me, I first stated what my practice problem was, which mine was something related to mental health. So my practice problem related to mental health. And then I tied in how my experience as a mental health therapist will help me throughout my doctoral program in being successful. So I wrote in my personal statement how my work that I've done with Black youth in mental health will help me to understand in what aspects I need to do research on. So I knew that in mental health, Black youth were less advocated for. So I knew, so in my paper, I'm talking about how in the doctoral program, I'm going to do research on, and I'm going to do, I'm going to do research on policy in black youth, right? I'm going to do research on this practice problem. Why are Black youth less represented by social workers, right? So you really just want to tie in what you do and how that will help you in the doctoral program, because the faculty who are reading your personal statements, they do want to know, what have you been doing since you graduated from your master's program? Why do you want to get a doctorate of social work? Like, why should we choose you, right? So you've got to know, like, and you've got to be confident in yourself. You've got to be able to write about yourself, write highly about yourself, right? Your confidence has got to beam through your personal statement. You've got to say, hey, I've been doing excellent work. So what I said in my personal statement was, I've been doing excellent work with Black youth already, in which I have, and I'm not telling a lie. So what I said was, in my mental health agency, I've created my own youth program that I held weekly, and in that program we did like clinical skills, we did like team building skills, friendship building skills, right? And I just talked about how already me innovating my own kind of like skill building group, right, how that has helped me realize in what ways Black youth need help from us social workers, in what ways we can advocate more, in what ways policies need to change to support Black youth's mental health, right? Because from that group, I was able to see how overdiagnosed Black students was, or underdiagnosed Black students was, right? So you see how I'm just pulling in the work that I'm actually doing and putting it into my personal statement and saying, I've been doing good work. I've been doing good work. Now I want to be in this program and I want to learn the back end. I want to actually read literature on what I've already done, and I want to come up with my own capstone papers and write about it. So basically that's what you want to do. So if you have not had much experience as a social worker, I can see that this may be challenging for you, but every social work student, from my experience, has had to have some type of practicum / internship. So that is where you want to pull your experience from. If you have not been in the field, if you haven't had like a big social work job, you want to pull from your internships. You want to say, in my internship at the middle school, or my internship at a homelessness agency, right? This is the type of work that I did, and this is how this work will help me in the doctoral program, because it will help me learn more. It'll help me do this. It'll help me inform practice. It'll help me write capstone papers, right? It'll help me further my practice problem, right? So that's what you want to do. And again, you want to keep it short and sweet. You do not want to write paragraph on paragraph on paragraph. Don't do that. Make it short and sweet. Have your friend reread it for you. Someone like a mentor, someone who's in the field, a professional, doesn't have to be a social work professional, but someone that you trust who can read it and say to you, okay, this makes sense, or I don't understand this. What do you mean here? Or you could change this, or you have grammar errors, right? You want to make sure that you do that also, because you are turning in something that will say, I write well enough to be in a doctoral program. That's very important also. You want to write well in the personal statement, because they have to trust, the faculty have to trust that you can write well in the next few years in the doctoral program. No one's going to teach you how to write in the doctoral program, okay? They're not going to teach you that. You have to know how to already do that, okay? So that's just a little extra tip that I pulled in there, okay? So again, pulling from your experience, what you've done, even if you're like a seasoned social worker and you've like got 10 years, 15, 20 years in the game, listen, tie it all in. I've worked here, I've worked there, I've worked with this population, right? And this, working with all these populations is going to help me in the doctoral program. And future tips, because I've worked in the mental health field, and now that I am going to hopefully be accepted into the doctoral program, once I am done, I'm going to take all the knowledge that I've learned and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Maybe I'm going to publish a paper. Maybe I'm going to publish a paper in a social work journal to help bring more awareness to this issue. That's an example. Maybe I'm going to take all my knowledge, all my literature that I've written, and I'm going to take it to the agency that I work, and I'm going to help advocate for maybe a new policy change within the agency. That's another example. Maybe I'm going to take all the work that I've been doing and I'm going to macro right? Maybe maybe I'm gonna lobby. Maybe I'm gonna write editorial papers, right? To help lobby for this practice problem, right? So that's what we do as doctors of social work. We make impactful changes, right? So think big, dream big, right? Dream big. Things you haven't even thought of that you could do with being in a doctoral program. What would you do? Think of it and put it in the paper, because that's what the faculty is looking for. They're looking for the next future social work leaders. And you are the next social work leader. And you have to believe that, and you gotta let it, and you gotta scream it in your personal statement, okay? Be confident, you got this. So I hope that helped you guys kind of get a better insight on exactly what it means to kind of tie in your practice problem with your current experience, and what you plan to do with your current experience in the doctoral program, and how that can inform your future work. All right, you guys, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to me. And listen, I'm about to drop more videos about this application process, so you don't want to miss it. All right, you guys, I appreciate you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.